Hi, I'm Aisha.
Hey, I'm Jasmine.
What's up? It's 1228.
And we're IJT Productions.
Hello, good day, and welcome. This is IJT Productions, our YouTube channel with IJT Presents. And today's topic is going to be controlling. So I have the lovely Jasmine, the J of IJT, and the lovely 12T, 1228, the grade, And we're here today to talk about controlling. So what does that look like with people? Is it relationships? Is it personality? Experiences you might have had with extreme people as far as like feminists or extreme men who bash women. I don't know the term of that yet, but we just want to know, like,
it's called misogynist.
Yeah, misogynist. There we go. Misogynist guys, just controlling in general. So I feel like the streets was talking that 12 has some type of like beef with control. So that's what I heard. So
take it away.
Take it away. So what's up? Like, control that.
All right. So here's the thing. So the streets do talk. Feel me? The streets do talk. And the streets were saying that, a lot of women feel like men are controlling them within relationships, right? So that's what the streets were saying. So I'm just walking down the street. I hear them talking about this. So I just was, just la 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 la. I'm just listening to see what's going on. And it seems like women are feeling like when men get into relationships with them, they start to try to change them and they try to tell them what they can do and what they cannot do. Gotta sip that tea. And then, it'd be a whole lot of "you're not my dad" vibes. It'd be a lot of those. You're not my dad. So in my personal life, I've experienced like dealing with women and they're feeling like you are controlling them. So I'll just use an example of what I was called controlling over, right? And y'all decide and let me know. Let me know
Sure.
What's right and what's wrong, right? So kicking it with a chick, we vibing, right? We hanging out. No, it's all good. So we just having a casual conversation, one-on-one time, just me and her. But I noticed like every time I'm talking to her, like she started like checking her phone, right? So I'm talking to her and then she giving me the, oh, wow. What? That's great. Huh? What? Oh, yeah. I'm listening. So I asked her, I said, hey, listen, I would appreciate it if you can like put your phone down while we kick it. Like I just want to really get quality time. You feel what I'm saying? So I would like your undivided attention, right? And my love language is quality time. So I need that undivided attention, right? So she kind of was like, but I'm listening to you. Like, then she started to make all these excuses, like I can multitask and blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, listen, I get it. But I'm just saying, while we spend the time with each other, I would really appreciate if you could just kindly put your phone away just for a moment. I'm not telling you I'm not taking your phone. I'm just saying, while we spending this time. Cool. So she puts her phone down. The next day, I wake up with like a paragraph text about like, I just feel like that was a little controlling of you to ask me to put my phone down and I didn't appreciate that and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, so wait, common courtesy and decency is controlling now? Like just like, is that what we are in this world where, because I asked you, can you do something out of courtesy, not demanded you, I didn't give you an attitude, I didn't threaten you, I just asked you, hey, can you put your phone down? You could have just said no. And if you would have just said no, I'd have been like, all right, cool, I'm out. I'll holler at you. So that's my personal experience. I've seen others online where women are in relationships with guys and they want to go to All-Star Weekend with their homegirl. And their man is saying, "No, I don't want you going to All-Star Weekend. Like, I already know what was the vibes. I don't want you to go over there. They have a attitude because the man is controlling them. So I just think we in a time where like there's no more lines, there's no more, everything is just either all the way extreme. It's just, I don't know. So that's my personal experience. I'm gonna pass it to Jazz. Jazz, give me some feedback. Talk to me. Let me know what the streets has got going on, because I don't know. Talk to me.
You know what's so funny is that like us now, I guess like us for today, when we think of someone telling us what to do, we think of it as controlling or some form of control, because now we live in a society where I could do what I want whenever I want, at any time, wherever I want, like whatever feels good, go with your heart, go with the flow. And if anyone is going against that, then they're controlling and oppressing you. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no, it's just like common courtesy. Like when you talking to someone, you want to make sure that you give someone your full undivided attention. That's respect. And I think sometimes, people don't understand what respect is versus controlling. I'll give you a story of controlling. I was, in a relationship with someone, and nothing against you, 12, because I know that you are vegan. But, I had a significant other like, I don't want you to eat meat anymore. I want you to stop doing what you're doing and all this stuff. So I was like, well, you never like gave me the option to do that. Like, it was just like, I want you to stop this, but he just never gave me a reason why to. It was just because he didn't want to do it. So whatever he didn't want to do, that's what I was not going to do. And I'm like, you have to have respect, like when you talk to people, or just show or indicate like, why should I stop eating it, more than so controlling me in a way where I don't want you doing this and I don't want you doing that. So I have experienced that, but I also had experience when, I am engaging with a person and they're not giving you their full attention, like their mind is somewhere else, and just out of respect, I let them know like, hey, if you're unable to do this, then we can have a conversation another time. So I've been in those situations before, both, but I guess it depends on like what's going on and what's happening too. I don't know if you guys ever felt that way.
Right, take it away, Aisha.
As far as
it's been a while. It's just been a while.
See how controlling that is? Let me stop. So what I would say for the modern day, as far as like telling people about respect, like this is how I like to be treated, as far as just like listening to me, because I'm pretty sure 12, like what you like to give, like undivided attention, what you like to receive, you give that. So I'm pretty sure you gave her your undivided attention. And
exactly.
As far as with Jasmine's talking, like she stated, like you didn't even like ease into that. You didn't fully communicate why. Like what was some help, whatever type of, or a carnivore, or like whatever, like these days, or vegan or things like that. Say why you want to do that. Like come from a place of love and deliver that. Don't just say because I said so. Then it's looking like, well, do I do that with you? As opposed to, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say, like, just to piggyback on that, like, just because I'm vegan, that don't mean you got to be vegan. Like, you can suggest, like, hey, I'm gonna change my diet. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is why I'm changing my diet. Hey, if you want to be on this path with me, like, I encourage you to do it, et cetera, et cetera. But you can't like make people like. That's my thing. Like, you really can't control anybody. That's the beautiful thing about this idea of being controlling. Like, you literally can't control somebody unless you like impose your will on somebody. Like, I can't. Only thing I can do is just give suggestions. But like until I like forcibly like put like make you do something, which is like all the way extreme, it's really just suggestion. Like at the end of the day. So I guess some people just get offended on the fact that you even suggested, like, why would you tell me to put my phone down? It's my phone. It's my bill. I pay my bill. It's like, great, but we're having a conversation right now. So if you can't fully have the conversation, we could do it another time. It's really like, So I don't understand. I guess some people be hurt these days, so they just feel like they want to be a victim.
Yeah, it could be hurt, or
So,
it could be a sense of entitlement, per se. Like, like people think that they're entitled to speak things into your life because of what they've been through. So, like, if they give you advice, you have to take it. Or if something didn't work out for them, then that means it's not going to work out for you. So you should do this. I think they're trying to come from a place of like understanding, but most people are like projecting that their bad outcomes is going to be your bad outcomes, and that's not the case. Because what if Jasmine couldn't be a vegan because let's say her diet is like, no, based off her blood type, she needs to eat meat or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't tell people what they can and cannot do. You don't know their situation. Or like the extremists, as far as like, men doing this or women doing that. I think we coming from a place of like, back in the days, women couldn't do anything without a man. Couldn't go outside past like 6, couldn't like be married or like work or do all this, that, and the third, or be paid equally. Things of that nature, corporate. So it's like now we're getting to a place, it's like, first pay my bills and things like that. So I think people take it to a real extreme with that. Like I know some people who feel like, I have to work, I have to do that, I don't need no man. There's some women who have to work. I don't mind having a whole man. Like, that's okay. If you want to take care of me, cool. Like,
can you tell that for the people in the back?
I work and I don't mind having a man who wants to take care and provide as well. Like, you meet your equal. Like, that's okay. But not to say I don't need one. Like, I remember being in the club with somebody. I think it was like me and my line sisters, and like that song used to come on. Like, what was the Fat Man 2? It was like, if you need a man,
if you need a man, if you're single, be quiet. If you need a man, be quiet, or something like that. If you're independent,
and
be
I
quiet.
always have my hand
if you
down.
don't need a man,
I'll be like, I was like, no, I would like a man. Yeah,
that's right.
Her and I would put our hand down when that's no, we like having those times.
So here's another angle that we can go with that, right? Because sometimes, you may be looking out for somebody on something, maybe just to, like, for example, your relationship, you were saying, Jazz, maybe he could say like, okay, maybe there is a health issue that you're dealing with, right? So he could suggest like, yo, maybe you should cut out the meat, you should cut out and change your diet, right? For example. Now, I think sometimes like people don't know how to communicate and approach people. That's another problem. so people just like try to just throw something at you and expect you to be able to receive it all at once. So like, for example, I'll give, like, when I was a kid, right? When I was younger, I grew up in Staten Island, Stapleton, and I used to see the kids from the projects from Park Hill and Stapleton houses. I used to see them, and they lived a certain way. Like, they was able to go outside, they was able to do things that I wasn't able to do. And I used to always feel like, why I can't be outside at 10, 11 o'clock at night on a school day? Like, I'm thinking I'm lame, right? Like, I'm corny because I can't be outside with the kids. Why can't I do these things? Why can't I go to this person's house? Why can't I do that? So now, in my head as a little child, I'm thinking, well, my mom's controlling. She don't let me have fun. She's ruining my life, right? But then those kids that was outside at those times, when I look at the outcomes, I wasn't aware of what my mom was trying to prevent me from being a part of. You get what I'm saying? So I'm thinking like, oh my gosh, she's ruining my life. She's not letting me have fun. Like, I should be able to do these things. But I'm so immature and so ignorant that I don't even really understand the landscape as to why are these kids out at this time? Where are these kids' parents? Why, like, you're 14. You shouldn't be roaming the streets at 11 o'clock at night. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, even with little kids are never going to volunteer to eat vegetables. They're just not. They're not going to wake up and say, you know what? I'm going to take a nap today. I'm going to clean my room. I'm going to eat my vegetables. No. Sometimes you have to, when you're a leader, sometimes you have to provide information that may be uncomfortable, but it's the best thing for the individual. So that's where parenting comes in. That's when being a level of mentor or being wise comes in, because you may not understand why I'm telling you to do these things, but it's really for the best and for your development. So I think sometimes people get into that childish, that rebellious, why can't I do that? I wish I could, but it's like, if I let you eat candy all day, like, you're gonna get sick. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Or what about these situations as well? Like, let's say, you know, you come home from work and your significant other says, "Oh, how was your day?" "Oh, my day's good." "Can you go make me something to eat?" Or they could ask you, you know, "Hey babe, I'm not feeling well. Can you make me something to eat?" I mean, I know that's a different way, but what happened if they just be like, "Yeah, go make me something to eat," or "This is what I want. Can you do that for me?" Like, in a certain way. Like, why? It's so funny because I was looking at something the other day. I know that we had talked about this too, but
mhm.
I was watching something on TV, and basically they were talking about why is it so hard for people to like serve others when a person is asked to be served, you know, rather
Right.
than just freely like doing or giving. And it's because people said they felt control when they feel like they have to serve versus want to serve from their heart, you know.
I've
You know
heard
what I'm
that.
saying? You know
No,
what I'm
I've
talking
heard
about?
that. I've heard people say, is because you asked me to do it, now I don't want to do it. It's like, wait. Like, so
Yeah.
it was like,
Not
so
asking, you told me to do
Yeah,
it.
you
yeah.
telling me.
It's a
Or
difference.
even well, I mean, for me, I like to think, I'm not perfect, but I like to think like I would ask more than anything. And if I don't ask, then, you know, you could correct me. But it's like, if somebody asks you to do something, and like I said, depending on the tone, depending on how they say it, that determines the outcome. But like, I've legit met people say like, wait, not for me, but just their relationships and things like that. Like they had a problem just from the request. Like, it wasn't even like, it was like, he shouldn't have asked me. It's like, really? Like, okay, like, what is that all about? Like, why is this such a demand for this level of power, or this sense of like, if I do this for a person, I lose at the end of the day? Like, if you feel like that, then you just probably shouldn't be with the person. You shouldn't feel like you're giving to a person and they're just taking. Yeah, that's uncomfortable. But if you are in a healthy relationship, assuming, and this person doesn't mind, if you aren't feeling well, they'll fix you something to eat. Or if you're not, you know, feeling your best, or you got a little attitude today, and they can be patient enough to, you know, let it slide, then it should be the same. You know, I just think like this whole power trip and this like, you're not my dad. Like, we need to like, we need to get over that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I know.
it's it's a line. Like, yes, there's a line, but like, let's chill out.
I understand that, but I think it's gonna take time with healing. I mean, like,
Yes,
so like
we
back
need to heal.
in the '90s, like we was listening to music. Every black woman was a beat, like in rap, in
Yeah.
the street, catcalling. And so we
Mm-hmm.
got to a point where we had our voice over. We was like, if you feel this way, we don't need y'all. Like, let's get this money. You know, certain rappers. Some of my favorite was like, F dudes get money. At that point, before Christ, I did the same thing. Like, let's not even talk about them. Let's go make money. But I think
Yeah.
we need to come from a place of like love and realize like that we need each other. And
Right.
that when you mentioned the word leadership, I think people take that into extreme. As like a bad leader is controlling, but a good leader is a
Yeah.
good follower. Like you
Yeah.
know where you've been, you know how you build up from a follower to a leader, and you also
Mm-hmm.
build up other leaders. So if you
Yeah.
are in a relationship with somebody, like you both should be looked at as leaders and followers in certain situations. But let's say that
Mm-hmm.
scenario, like Jasmine said, the tone of like asking me to make you a sandwich, that's cool. But if I just worked a 9 to 5 and you were home all day, I don't want to feel entitled or anything, but asking me to make you a sandwich after I just had like a long day and you were sitting home chilling, that's crazy. I would expect to come home to a sandwich at least, like you making it.
Right.
I'm asking, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Now I gotta be working wife and then like working in the housewife. Like I'm just like partnership. Like come on, we gotta do the exchange. But
No, I agree.
People speak extremely like that. Like that love is like on conditions. Like that doing love on exchange. I do this for you, so you do that. Like you shouldn't count that. It should be unconditional and it should just flow. Like
Yeah.
so,
I think you only have to be conditional as if the person is being, like you said, entitled, ungrateful, and they're not reciprocating. That's when it's like, all right, now I gotta be conditional because you just being a fool out here. Now, if the person is also doing favors for you and looking out for you and in your best interest, and honestly, that's really what good leadership is. It's also about serving. It's not just, hey, you do this, you do this, you do this. It's like, no, you're doing this, but I'm also doing this as well for the better of both of us. It's not just I'm sitting back chilling, like, all right, let me reap all the benefits. It should be a balance. You get what I mean? So this controlling
I should
concept.
be able to say, hey, babe, can you go get pads for me from the store? I'm sick. I'm not feeling well.
Right. Right. You should, yeah. Or, yo, I got a flat tire. Can you change it? Or can you go get the oil you change for the car? I don't know about cars. Like if that's something that you don't know about or you don't have those experiences, it should be balanced to where you can count on somebody to do that for you. And I'm not saying that women don't know how to change tires. I didn't say that, but I'm just saying hypothetically. So we would love to see what y'all think about it. Let us know about this whole concept about controlling, and let's talk about it. Meet us in the comments. So it's IJT Productions. We'll see you in the next video.